Let's talk a little sports. Steve Nash is out against the Nets. Who didn't see that coming? It was weird because they fired him after a slow start, but there was rumors that obviously KD and or Kyrie wanted him gone in the offseason. They could have had a better coach in the offseason where they didn't have to have a slow start, and fix the defensive issues. Obviously during the offseason and preseason and stuff like that. But you wait for you to struggle. And they struggled last season. It's not like he was a better coach last season. The same issues persisted last year, not just defensively, but they were ISO dominant. So, and it's weird because he was a team guy who facilitated man movement, ball movement. Obviously, shout out to Mike D'Antoni was a huge part of that. But we all knew it didn't work. It wasn't going to work when Kyrie was adamant that they don't really need a coach. We got superstars with championship. Obviously, KD won a championship and Kyrie won one. So it's like, oh, we don't really need a coach. And obviously, the league is different. The kind of the players kind of dictate what type of coach you want and stuff like that. Um, and I'm old school. I've always thought you still have to have some type of leader that's going to challenge you, even if you're great. And you look at what obviously Mike D'Antoni offensively, but what George Karl and Jerry Sloan, Phil Jackson, and those guys brought to the game. Obviously, Greg Popovich, Larry Brown. Where if you're playing bad, you don't get to just play bad throughout that process and hurt the team. You have to come down and sit and practice, and you get better in practice. Whether you have to gain weight, lose weight, whatever situation is, you don't have to basically expose the team to your issues when we can have a young guy play or a veteran play and we can then implement you back into the system. But obviously the Stars don't want to do that. So obviously you have this here. The games that Kyrie and KD play are outdated. ISO heavy basketball does not work unless you're playing a sorry team every night. They're averaging 30 some points and losing every night because they don't play defense. They don't pass the ball. If the defense only has to guard two guys, literally two guys, and the other guys go average 5 points, 7 points, whatever. And it doesn't help when they said verbally, obviously they got Ben Simmons, we're gonna help him out, we're gonna encourage him. Kyrie been yelling on the court when Ben gets the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. I'm like, bro, man, it doesn't give you an opportunity to help him grow when you all are just jacking up shots. I mean, jacking up shots. And you're not giving. I mean, he's shooting, but he's missing bunnies. I mean, talking about layup at the layup, dunk at the dunk. I mean, these are bunnies. But it doesn't give you confidence when you guys are jacking up shots, good and bad shots, and he's missing layups. And you got to get the guy to get some easy shots. And some of these are easy shots he's just missing, but you also have to get the opportunity for other guys to get involved. They're not allowing the other guys to get involved because they're just shooting shots. And when you can't rely on offense, you can't rely on defense. You need to look at the coach, and say what scheme can we run to make it better. Steve Nash has no scheme because he's an inexperienced coach. Um, Ime Udoka is allegedly the rumored coach they want to sign, and that's going to be interesting to see how he's going to be able to coach with suspension issues or whatever with Boston. But um, it's interesting. He probably can fix this. He was the only person to be able to fix the Boston trio with Marcus Smart and Brown and Tatum. He A lot of coaches tried it. A lot of GMs tried it. A lot of other players came in and brought Rondo in, brought Kyrie in, and brought a whole bunch of people in to try to figure it out. And it never worked out. And he was the one to unlock the code to show that they can play together. Because they were going to trade one of them, they go trade two of them, they were going to cut, when they were going to figure it out. But he said, no, these three guys can work it out. And he almost got them a championship. So he can figure this out. If he can figure this out, I mean, I'm sick. So, I mean, man can sleep with anybody who wants, man. Look, the man take the Nets to the finals. The man gonna have a whole bunch of people lined up to have sex with him. So, so, it is what it is. But, it looks like he's gonna be able to take on that challenge. The problem is the NBA is not a long season. You have to look 80 games. You think, oh, it's 80 games. It's not a lot. That's a long way, but they already 10 games in the season and they're struggling. So it's going to take some time to get everything going. Also, the biggest concern is you got to have a bench. I don't think they have much of a bench. But you gotta see some success. And the East is going to be tough to get out of it. Milwaukee looks good. The Knicks look good, old Knicks fan, so I ain't gonna say too much. But once you say the Knicks look good, then they're going to 10-game losing streak. You're like, what the freak? But so I think Milwaukee is the best team last couple of years, and I think they'll be there again this year. But the Nets' issues are simply they don't fit each other, and I don't know if they don't like each other or what. But chemistry is worth its weight in gold, and I think this shows a lot of people don't understand that you can have the most skills in the world, but if you don't have chemistry, it ain't gonna work. No one is. KD is one of the top 10 players in the league right now. Kyrie is one of the top probably 20 players in the league. Skills are unmatched, both guys. But when you have no leadership when it comes to coaching, when you have no discipline when it comes to defense, and you have no path forward when it comes to chemistry, making sure your teammates come along with you, and not just watching you shoot, not just watching you jack up shots. Chemistry is worth its weight in gold, and it goes back to Spurs. They always didn't have the best scores, but they had the best team energy, team chemistry. Lakers back in the day, team chemistry. The Warriors now, team chemistry with them young guys. The young guys may never make the playoffs, may never make superstars. Wiggins aren't. They're not superstars, Jordan Poole, but they have team chemistry. We know the system in and out, and we know our role in the system. So if Udoka can do that, that'd be great. It'd be interesting to see when he can come back. Obviously, suspensions and legal issues, to that, and if Boston will allow him to go, because I didn't think the suspension was warranted. I think if you have an issue like that, you really need to fire somebody. I'm not into the salacious stuff, but personal issues that are not illegal issues really are grounds for firing if you're going to fire them. Suspending someone for a year and then having them come back to a public job. This is not like working at the post office, working at the Walmart. You got media is going to be involved in a year, so it's like we're going to ask you but people going to ask you the same questions like, who was it, or why'd you do this, or do you think if you were here last year, the team would be better, or Tatum's in a slump? What would you say to him if you were the coach? It's like, it's just too much. So cut your ties, cut your losses, move on. The Boston should have been let the man go. But as a man, I understand, the backgrounds of that. But go Nets. If they can figure it out, it'd be interesting. I don't think they will. I like Kyrie, but I don't think you can have 3 separate issues and make it work. KD has a whole set of issues. Kyrie has a whole set of issues. Ben Simmons have a whole set of issues, and none of them issues are same. None of them. And they don't work together. So if we are fixing 3 separate guys' issues who are the superstars of this team and trying to get better and win games at the same time, that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard hill to climb. It's one thing if you win it. It's a whole nother thing where we have to fix emotional issues, mental issues, putting your personal opinions out in the public, in this public space. Gone are the days where, you can just say, this is what I believe in, and, it is what it is. People, you believe in something, and people challenge your beliefs to try to make you change your mind. It's like everybody's beliefs is relative to their experience, how they were born and raised and where they come from. And you have to respect that. Whether you agree with it or not, you have to respect that. So, I'm not in the business of changing people's minds, but also people shouldn't be in the business of changing people's minds. People playing basketball. So Kyrie should be paid to play basketball and ask about basketball questions that's it. Obviously Ben Simmons have other issues, fear issues and emotional issues, and I get all that too. And KD got a whole bunch of issues too. So I want it to work for Ime Udoka, and that's it. But in the East, it can work because it's not top heavy in the West. You don't have guys trying to freaking drop 40 on you every night. But they have to work together. If they don't work together and build chemistry in these next 72 games, 70 games, someone's getting traded or cut, and Ime will be out of job and be coaching college. Peace.